Welcome, I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing products from Stampin' Up! I made this beautiful card with nice texture on it with products from Stampin' Up! I sell these products and also a few items to make crafting more convenient. I have the free detailed directions for this project on my website. You can copy it all down now, but why not just wait and download it from my website? It's free. And I also have links for the products that you might like to purchase. Click those links and it'll take you to my online store. You'll see where to find all of that at the end of this video, so don't worry about taking notes. It's time to put stamps, ink, and paper together. I'm using Nature's Prints and the coordinating Nature's Prints dies. Natural Prints dies. I'm also using the Artistic Mix decorative masks. I'm using this is the matte embossing paste, so you'll also want palette knives. And you can use either your silicone mat for mixing, or you can also use butcher paper. The paper with the coating on one side is great. And then you can just toss this. You will probably want paper towels, and you will also want a tub of water that's large enough to put your decorative mask in. These decorative masks have 4 different backgrounds, and also this, so that and it's also got both the inside part and the frame, so you can just limit yourself to that size if you want. But I'm using this one today. You will also want just a drop of the Blueberry Bushel refill ink. So I have my cardstock all ready to go. I have both thick and regular basic white. This is the thick, and I'm going to do the embossing paste on this. You can do it on the lighter stuff. I think it'll work just fine, but I think it's going to work better on the heavy duty. And we want to start with that so it has time to dry. The embossing paste dries very quickly. In fact, that's why you want to have the tub of water so that you can toss this in as soon as you're done with it. But if you keep it in the tub and you keep it with both of these layers in here, and you be sure and close it up tight, and then also keep it in the plastic bag, it will stay for a long time. I bought this in 2018 when we first started selling this, and it is a little bit thicker now, but it's still useful. So let me pull some of this out. This stuff for mine on the sides is especially thicker, and you only need, this is probably way too much. I am embossing on white paper, and so I do want some color on it. This was really literally a drop, and I may have had a little bit more embossing paste, but if you just want to touch this down, you can always add more if you want it, but a little goes a long way. Yeah, maybe I want a little bit more. Let's see if that's enough. I am also using Garden Green ink pad and my Pecan Pie ink pad. So all we have to do is put this down here, and you do want to line this up the way you want your outlines to be. But once you start putting it on here, it really kind of holds it down. You just need a very thin layer, And so you kind of want to scrape it. Yeah, I think I want a little bit more blue. So let me put a whole drop on here. And see how this gets way bluer. This might be too much. So see if I can get a happy medium here. You do not need to put this over the entire card. In fact, the middle is going to be covered up, so I'm scraping extra off of that part. I kind of like it around the outside edges, but if it's a little rough, that's just fine. And I think I want a little bit more embossing paste. That's easy to scoop up some more. And I think you'll find the fresh embossing paste is smoother and probably easier to spread. But my goodness, this is 5 years old. Just keep it sealed up. If you don't seal it up as soon as you're done, it's going to get dried out in there. And I think that that's just going to be perfect. So you just lift this up and it leaves behind that. I'm going to drop this in my tub of water along with my palette knife, and I'm going to just fold this up and toss it. I'm going to make sure and seal this up unless I decide to toss it right now. And I'm going to set this aside to dry. And having wipes is handy too. When you close this up, be sure to put these back on, and that helps seal it. I am going to be using my mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. So this piece is cut at 5.5 by 3.5, and so it'll fit through the mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss. We want to stamp all of this on this cardstock. I'm hoping it's going to be big enough. So I have my garden green and pecan pie. I'll start with the pecan pie. And I'm stamping best wishes and happy thoughts. And I want to stamp that on the end because we're going to be squeezing quite a bit in here. You can actually, it's not a bad idea to kind of lay out these dies on this piece. We're going to be using the label and this big one and this one. And we'll be using both of these on the pecan pie. So they will fit. So I do want to put best wishes and happy thoughts pretty low. And we'll stamp this. I called this wheat. I don't think it's really wheat, but put that about there. And the garden green. For this big piece. If I have these too close together, I may need to die cut them separately. But if they're far enough apart, I can do them all at the same time. You may have seen me use this before. I like to use the number 3 light gray plate instead of the white base plate. And then a number 2, a cut-up plate. And let's see if I can get them all on. It might almost be easier to do these separately. And if you have a little piece of washi tape or painter's tape, that's kind of nice to keep it from moving around on you. And if the stem has a little dot, if you make sure and put the end of the stem, the stamped stem, in that dot, it will fit nicer. And we'll see if I have enough room for this. I'm going to run it through separately. So we'll cover it up and roll it through. Let me check the back. Well, I think I'm a little bit off, so I'm going to stamp it again. And this gives me a chance to try stamping again without that little halo part. Much better. Looks good. And then one more time through, I want to cut this die set comes with 2 of these parts, so I'm going to cut them both at the same time. I love when there's multiples in there. This piece is for the inside. If you want to stamp one of the flowers, you might want to do that. I'll use this wheat one. Let me try that again. Much better. And of course you can stamp on the envelope as well. Nobody will ever know that I made that oopsie, except for the people watching. You won't tell, will you? Okay, this piece is pretty dry enough. So I'm going to put this on, and because I don't want to, press down right now with the Stampin' Seal, I'm going to use the liquid glue. It's also, I think, better if your paper is not super dry. It will hold even though the paper's a little bit damp. And for the same reason, I am going to use tear and tape. I want to put my ribbon kind of just wiggling back and forth. So I want maybe a couple of inches of tape. And so I'm just putting the tear and tape pretty much in the middle. I want to put my ribbon a little bit higher this time. And maybe this really isn't very dry because this didn't want to stick either. But I just want to hold the ribbon down for a little bit, so I think it'll work still. I think honestly pecan pie is one of my favorite colors this year, so we'll see. And this ribbon is just gorgeous, so I'm just going to kind of zigzag back and forth here. Give it a little snip here. I'm going to put some glue on the bottom of these on the front side. And also this one. So I want this one to be up above, coming off the side there. Maybe this one there, and this one there. And then on the back of here, I can put my dimensionals, and this will help hold all those pieces on there. And we'll put this over the tape, maybe up a little higher. And then dimensionals on the back of my label. Make sure that's right side up. And then I have some of these beautiful sparkle gems, and you can put them on your label or just scattered anywhere you want them. I kind of liked them up here, especially since I put my flowers a little bit lower, but I think I'll still put them up there. And that's it. You want to try out some of this embossing paste. It's very cool. Here is the web address for this project, where you'll find the free detailed directions and links for the products I used. Just click the links and you'll be taken to my online store at Stampin' Up! Click Home near the top of my page and you'll find lots of resources. Under Shop, you can find the products I offer to make crafting more convenient, how to get free products with my frequent shopper rewards, and a link to my online store at Stampin' Up! Click Inspiration to scroll all my projects back to 2011, most with detailed directions and videos. Though the products in those older projects have been retired, you may find techniques, layouts, or color combinations to inspire you today. If you're new to stamping, you might want to look at the basics. You'll find how to cut card bases and layers, and some of my favorite tools. Under Organization, you'll find lots of free resources such as catalog tabs, labels and case inserts, color tools, and much more. More organization means more time for stamping. You can learn about my Evernote notebook. I have a note for every current product that Stampin' Up! Has for sale right now. It really makes finding just exactly what you want very easy. And you can create your own notebook and search through all of the things that you own to find just what you need. Come stamp with me here in Ventura County, California, or get the best deal of all and join my team of crafters. The team is called SIP Together, and it stands for Stamps, Ink, and Paper Together. Be sure to subscribe to my website and on my YouTube channel. I'd love to hear your comments. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you soon.